Destiny 2 is a good game, and contrary to what you will see on social media and what you'll see in YouTube videos, a lot of people like to hate on Destiny 2, and I think it's more so because of popularity thing. Destiny 2 is one of those super hyped up games that was a sequel to a super hyped up game. So when you have these games that are so hyped up, people tend to only focus on the negative of those games. They ignore anything about those games that's positive, and all you see is people still play that game. The game's so bad. The game's trash. This, that, and the other when it comes to negativity towards the game. Fact of the matter is, Destiny 2 is a good game. The soundtrack is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. The story's not great, but it's fine. And when it comes to the gameplay, the gameplay is a polished version of Destiny 1. And Destiny 1 was a really good game. However, with all that said, there is still a problem with Destiny. Destiny 2 suffers a lot because of bad decision made by the developers in terms of how quest works, how loot drops work, how grinding is. Like, I don't have an issue with grinding in video games, but if you're gonna make people grind, there should be actual rewards, consistent rewards for that grind. Destiny 2 is not consistent when it comes to the grinding in the game. I'll have on the screen right now. You'll see some pursuits or bounties, you want to call them that. And two of the pursuits and bounties are PvP centered. One for Gambit and one for Crucible. There's another one for Vanguard strikes as well. The issue here isn't that these bounties exist, is that you can only complete them if you have a full set of armor from those game modes. You can only get those full set of armor by playing those game modes. And getting them isn't guaranteed, it's RNG. I've had this game since it came out. I still don't have a full set of armor for Crucible. I still don't have a full set of armor for Gambit. That's bullshit. You cannot make a pursuit / bounty that's dictated based on you having a certain pair of gear that is RNG. I've gotten the Wing Commander cape almost every single time I've played Crucible. It just doesn't drop the rest of the set for me because the game's RNG. I've had the game since it came out and have not completed these two pursuits because the game requires you to wait and grind and hope RNG is lucky and is happy and gives you what you require. Iron Banner just wrapped up. Playing Iron Banner, I literally only got 2 pieces of Iron Banner gear. And one of those pieces of Iron Banner gear was legs. Got that 5 times. I got the arms and I got the legs 5 times. How can I get a full set of armor if you give me the duplicates over and over again on a consistent basis? That's the issue when it comes to Destiny, is RNG hurts this game so much because you often play the game, you often grind in the game, and then your rewards aren't even worth mentioning. Now, I was telling friends last night at the time I'm recording this on a Sunday. So on Saturday, I was telling my friends, I was like, what's crazy is that you can complete all these exotic quests, and then the exotic won't even drop at a loot level, that at a gear score that would make you even use it for longer than a day. Say you are a 740 and you do an exotic quest. That exotic weapon is going to drop at 742. You're going to use that weapon for a day and a half and then switch to something else. Not because you don't want the gun, but because you're going to find something better. To me, I think all exotic quest items should drop at whatever the max light level is for that time that it's out. So if you're a 740 right now and you do an exotic quest, that item should be 750. Since the max gear score right now is 750, every exotic quest should drop their gear at 750. No lower. To me, the whole point of an exotic is to have a strong, powerful, rare weapon that you're striving to get, that you're grinding to get. Why would I sit here and ground Outbreak if I'm going to use it for one night? Why would I sit here and ground to get the grind, to get the Thorn, get the Lumnia, if the second I get it, I'm not going to use it? I literally did the Thorn quest, and it dropped at 2 light scores lower than my current weapon. So I didn't even use it. Like, there's no point me even putting it on. I did all that grinding, all of that frustratingness in the Crucible, all that irritation when it came to Gambit. I did all this work for a gun that I'm not even using because it dropped out at a gear score that's not even as good as what I already had. That's an issue in this game. This is a good game. Don't get me wrong. This is a good game. But RNG hurts it. It hurts it. And there's not enough guarantees in this game. You look at a game like Warframe. Warframe has RNG, but it also has guarantees. You know, games that have guarantees will always be playable because you know for a fact if you grind for this amount of time, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you want, and you're going to be able to get it to being the strongest you want it to be. So not only do you have to freaking basically pray that RNG helps you and gets you what you want and have to drop it at a good light score. If it doesn't, you gotta grind your ass off some more just to get the materials to buff that weapon up to being at the light that you want it to be. Otherwise, you're just never going to use it. More often than not, when I get an exotic in Destiny 2, I just throw it in the vault. Because there's no point in me doing anything to it if the second I even upgrade it, I'm gonna get better loot anyways. I'm not max level, so I'm not getting everything that I get is not dropped at max level. And even then, why is my loot drop so inconsistent? My current character, my highest character is a 745 at the time of recording. By the time I upload this, might be 750. Why is my legendary loot drops at 720? If my light is 20 times higher than that. I don't have any gear on that's lower than 740. So why is my legendary drops lower than 740? If all of your weapons and armor is at a certain milestone for light, all your weapons and armor that you unlock in RNG should be equal to or higher loot. Then you need, unless it's blue engrams, I understand those not supposed to be good, but legendaries and exotics should be guaranteed equal to or better loot. But it's not. And part of what makes Borderlands so great is the higher level you are, everything that you're doing gives you better quality stuff. If you're high level in Borderlands and you kill a boss, that boss is gonna drop loot that's higher level, that's higher damage and higher statistics than what you're using. And that's what makes that game as good as it is, because it has all that loot, and the grind doesn't feel like you're wasting your time. You feel like everything you're doing is getting you better gear, getting you better weapons. Not in Destiny. You don't feel like what you're doing is getting you, you don't feel like your grind is paying off. The big thing in video games is payoffs. Destiny 2 doesn't have a payoff. You do all the grinding in the world, but the payoff isn't what you want it to be. So outside of just RNG, what else is the problem with Destiny 2? Well, Crucible. Now that's going to be a whole new video ending of itself, but Crucible in Destiny 2 is unplayable. Mostly because this is a game where balancing is difficult. Like, Bungie has created a game that's damn near impossible to balance on a PvP scale. PvE, the game seems perfectly fine when it comes to balance. But PvP, some of the game is incredibly unbalanced. There's so much wrong with Crucible. And again, I'll make a whole new video just going, point by point on what the issues are. But even looking at just the basics of your characters, the Hunter, the Titan, the Warlock, those characters aren't balanced. Now, the Hunter is by far the most underpowered character in the game. By far. And a lot of that's because it doesn't have the lethality as the Warlock and the Hunter. And the Titan, I mean. The Hunter has, out of all of its abilities, doesn't have a single ability that's a one-hit kill melee. Titans have a one-hit kill melee. Warlocks have a one-hit kill melee. Not a single ability for the Hunters allow them to tank damage when they use their ult. If you pop your ult as a Hunter in PvP and Crucible, it doesn't even matter, you're gonna get got. Like, it's better to have, Golden Gun. It's better to have the Blade Barrage because you can get those off so fast that people can't even do damage to you. But if you're using Spectral Blades, you're using the Arc Strider, people could just take you out with regular guns. One shot from a fusion rifle would take out someone who's using their spectral blades. Two shots from a sniper rifle to the chest will take out someone using Arc Strider. Meanwhile, if you're using Titan, playing Fist of Havoc, you Captain America up with your shield, got your hammers out, you can tank damage. Even Warlocks, when Warlocks use their little Darth Sidious little moves, when they just walk around, they just glide around shocking shit, they take so much damage. When they throw out their Nova Bomb, when in the process of them using their Nova Bomb, they can tank damage. Hunters can't. The other issue with Warlocks is that they have an ability that allows them to put out a healing well so they can heal themselves. In PvE, that's perfectly fine. PvP, that's unbalanced. Because that's a character in the game who can heal themselves when two other characters can't heal themselves. And yeah, you can say, well, it's area effect, meaning that your teammates can get inside that well and do the same thing. What if your team has no Warlocks and the other team is just all Warlocks? That entire team just sitting there healing themselves while your team is just sitting there like, we can't heal ourselves. The weapons in the game, PvE, and they seem perfectly fine. PvP, the weapons just seem incredibly unbalanced. And I know someone's gonna be like, maybe you're just bad at the game. I'm like, no, I'm pretty good at Crucible. I'm pretty good at Iron Banner. You know, I'm a very I make best with what I got when it comes to playing as a hunter main. I have a Warlock, I play Warlock. I have a Titan, I play Titan. I play all three characters. So this is not someone who just like, I play one character always, so I'm gonna complain about the other two characters. No, I've played Titan in Crucible. I play Warlock in Crucible. I'm speaking from experience. And again, I'll make another video going into full details and giving multiple points on what the issues are in Crucible and what the positives are in Crucible. But for the most part, the problem is there's so much going on with this game that they can't balance it the correct way. They can't balance it in a way that makes it fun. Because at this moment, at the time of recording, Crucible is a chore. It's not something that people play because they want to have fun playing a PvP game mode. They play because they have to. More often than not, you go play Crucible, you're playing against and with people who are trying to complete a pursuit, trying to complete a milestone, trying to complete an exotic quest line, trying to grind to get a Crucible only weapon. They're not playing because they actually want to play Crucible. If someone wants to play a multiplayer game, they want to play PvP, they're going to go play something else. They're going to go play Siege, you're going to go play Halo, they're going to go play Gears of War, they're going to play Call of Duty, you're going to go play any other shooter other than Destiny, because Destiny's Crucible is terrible. I enjoy it from time to time, but it's still bad. It's probably the worst PvP experience in a shooter that I've played. But I still enjoy it because I'm good at it. You know, when you're good at something, you'll still be like, I don't mind doing it because I'm good at it. But even then, it's still a chore. Even then, you're still like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be forced to play this. I just want to, play Destiny, my friends, PvE, do some raids, do some strikes, do some quests, and have fun. Not having fun in Crucible. Gambit, way better in Crucible, way more fun in Crucible, because there's so much interactivity in that, to where it's not the same thing as Crucible. Like you can there's invaders, but it's not the same thing as Crucible. It's a whole new experience, a whole different experience. And even with all that said, again, Destiny 2 is a good game. The PvE side of Destiny 2 is phenomenal. It is. There's nothing more satisfying than playing all three of those characters in PvE. Playing Titan, playing Warlock, playing Hunter. They're all a great experience when it comes to playing in PvE. The last issue that I will mention that's a problem in Destiny 2 is not going to mention paywalls. So I've done that too many times when it comes to having a conversation. But when it comes to your power-ups from Destiny 1, I feel like it's crazy that those power-ups aren't in Destiny 2. Like, you don't have the radiance for your Warlock that you had in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. And the problem with that is you're losing content. You took out content to add different content, so it sucks because a lot of the abilities that they had in Destiny 1 were phenomenal. Yes, they kept the golden gun. Yes, they kept the Fist of Havoc. Yes, they brought back blade dance basically, but when it comes to spectral blades. But when it comes to the Warlock, when it comes to using Radiance, it's not the same thing as playing as Flame Jesus. That was such a fun and great part of playing a Warlock in Destiny 1 was having Flame Jesus. Being able to self-res in the middle of a strike or in the middle of a raid. Some bracers were amazing in Destiny 1 because of the Radiance in Destiny 1. In Destiny 2, some bracers are kind of just useless. They don't have the same oomph to them because you don't get more orbs by just attacking things with those. You're not generating, because in Destiny 1 when you're using your Radiance ability, melees are getting you orbs. Grenade kills are getting you orbs. If you put down oil of Radiance in Destiny 2, you're done on a well and your teammates are it can take damage, but you're not creating more orbs with your Sunbracer. So because of the changes they made in and abilities, some exotic armor aren't as useful in Destiny 2 as they were in Destiny 1. But with that, I'd say that was the last negative thing I wanted to mention. This will be the last negative thing I want to mention. Destiny 2 lacks innovation when it comes to enemies. And this is just not even Destiny 2 issues. It's also Destiny 1. Destiny 1 had the same issue. The game never had new enemies. Never. Destiny 1 had the exact same enemies throughout the entire lifespan of that game. Destiny 2 has the exact same enemies throughout the entire lifespan of the game. There's no new enemies. And don't say, well, Destiny 1 they had Siva. Siva wasn't new. It was just Fallen who were infected. That's it. That's all the Siva was. It was Fallen but who were infected. We got the Taken. The Taken is the same enemies that's already in the game, but infected. Like, hey, you like the Cabal? Here's the Cabal, but now they're all white. Here's the Fallen, but they're all white. Here's the Hive, they're all white. Here's the Vex, they're all white. There's no new enemies. It's the same Destiny 2. Destiny 2 doesn't have any new enemies. That's a flaw. Because that shows that you have no ambition to create new enemies. You think about Bungie's other project, Halo. In Halo 1, you had the Covenant, you had the Flood. In Halo 2, you had the Brutes. That's a new enemy type. Their second game, it had a new enemy. You still had the Flood, still had the Covenant, but they added the Brutes. A full-blown new enemy type. There's nothing new in Halo 1 in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. You think Halo 4. Halo 4 added the Prometheans. They added new enemy. There is no new enemy when it comes to Destiny. And that's a flaw to me. It's a huge flaw because it'd be cool to see something new. And don't tell me the Scorn. Because the Scorn are just Fallen. They're a zombie Fallen. That's literally what they are. They're zombie Fallen. So what's the problem with Destiny? Everything that's in this video is the problem with Destiny 2. It's still a good game. But no matter how good a game is, every game has something that can be seen as a flaw. And the flaw in this game are the things that I mentioned in this video. And I hope you enjoyed this video. But with all that said, that's it for it. Thank you all for watching. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.